guys, it's Jade. Welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell by the spirit jersey and the Mickey ears, we're going to be talking about Disney. If you're new here, my name's Jade and I like to post travel vlogs, tips, tricks, reviews, and very obviously lots of Disney related content on my channel. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then hit that subscribe button to show your support. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my Walt Disney World bucket list with you guys. If you guys haven't seen my mini vlog already, I did post it like last week, I think. So I'll leave it linked above and below if you wanted to check that video out first. But back to today's video. I am going to be sharing my Walt Disney World bucket list with you guys. I've wanted to go to Walt Disney World for the absolute longest time. It's been a dream of mine for ages. So I went there with the intention to try and experience as much as I possibly can and try and fit as much as I possibly can into the trip because Walt Disney World is huge. So you honestly can't go there and experience absolutely everything. So I went there with my bucket list to try and cross off as many things as I possibly could. So let's see how many items I was able to cross off my list. Also, whether you're a seasoned Disney goer, you've been many times, or maybe it's your first trip, I thought this video could maybe help inspire people or kind of give you some ideas of what you guys would like to do on your trip. So let's get into the video. The very first item on my bucket list was to weirdly, or maybe not so weirdly, try and go on all of the transport options that Walt Disney World offers. Because Disney World offers four main transport options to the parks and between the parks. And that is the Disney buses, the ferries, the iconic monorails, and they also now have the Disney Skyliner. And I wanted to try and ride all four of the above. And I'm happy to say we did it. Our absolute favourite was definitely the Skyliner. If you've seen the vlog, you've probably seen Ethan's face already on this for the very first time because it looks so slow from the ground. And when you're on it, it seems so much quicker and it's so cool and it's such a unique way to get between Hollywood Studios and Epcot and also between the resorts. So we actually took it between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, but we also took it to the Caribbean Beach Resort to have like kind of a midday sit down and get out of the heat a little bit. And it was so awesome. We absolutely loved the Skyliner. I would highly recommend it if you're going soon to give it a try because honestly, it's so cool. The next one on my bucket list was to collect some of the park maps and any kind of free souvenirs that I possibly could from the parks. I'm a little bit of a collector anyway, and I like to make a travel scrapbook of me and Ethan's travels over the years. So it was really important for me to try and collect as many of these things as possible. And I'm pleased to say we did this. If you have seen my Instagram, you would have seen that we were able to actually get, so like I say, they offer these pin badges for special occasions at all of the parks. For example, like happy anniversary, birthday badges, and also first time visit badges. And this was my first time to Walt Disney World, so I absolutely had to have this badge. And we found it, I think it was in Hollywood Studios on like our fourth day or something. And I ran to this and was just like, can I please have one of these? So I collected one of these badges and you best believe, if you've seen my Instagram, you know, I wore this badge for the rest of the trip. Genuinely, it stayed on me the entire time. We also got little bits and bobs, so we donated just some change while we were at the Caribbean Beach Resort, and we got this little pin badge as well, which was really cool. And of course, for my travel scrapbook, and if that's something you'd like to see, by the way, please let me know in the comments because I love making my travel scrapbook, and if somebody would like to see how that happens, how that process happens, let me know. Anyway, so I collected all of these park maps. Some of them will get cut up into the journal, some of them I just really liked, so all of the park maps for all of the Walt Disney World parks, but we happened to be in Epcot for the Food and Wine Festival, so I also got the Food and Wine Festival passport. So yes, we definitely did that one on the bucket list. The next item on my bucket list was to wear Disney themed clothing, namely the Mickey ears. I've not actually tried Disney bounding when I've been to any of the parks yet. I've been to Walt Disney World now, and I've also been to Disneyland Paris, and I've not tried Disney bounding. So that is definitely one that will be on a future bucket list for a future trip, because it looks so fun and I'd love to go like themed towards like some of my favorite characters. But I did get to do this because obviously I wore my Mickey ears all the time. I actually wore these ones, which are Beauty and the Beast ones that my best friend Lisa Marie got me a few years ago. And these were absolutely perfect for Magic Kingdom, and I love these. I also made a point of, say for example with Animal Kingdom, I made a point of wearing Disney themed t-shirts to the parks, which I think kind of counts. So I wore this t-shirt to Animal Kingdom because it's the Lion King. It's Lion King themed, it's animal themed. Next up on my bucket list was to try Mickey shaped treats and snacks. And if this isn't on your Disney bucket list, why not? Like, it's iconic. You absolutely have to try the Mickey snacks when you're in the parks. And Walt Disney World has so many that I had to try, so it had to be part of the bucket list. I was definitely able to do this. We enjoyed a couple of Mickey ice cream bars, which were absolutely perfect for the hot days. We absolutely loved them. And we also tried the iconic Dole Whip in Epcot, which was absolutely amazing. And I also made sure to try Mickey Rice Krispie treats. I absolutely loved them, and I even brought some back to the UK with me, and I wish I'd brought more back because they're so delicious. And I'd love to try and recreate these as well, because I know you can, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the best chef. Another food related item on my bucket list was actually to eat at one of the themed restaurants. And we went for the sci-fi dine-in theatre for this bucket list item. I've researched this before we went and booked it 60 days in advance, like they recommend, and it was so worth it. I'm so glad we got to do this, as it offers such a unique experience. And even Ethan was kind of sat there like, oh my God, because it's so cool. It's so like, it's just so different. It's so different. So in this restaurant, as you'll see in the video clips, and I've got some photos as well, you're sat in kind of like a vehicle as your table for the meal, in front of a massive screen that shows black and white old adverts and little film clips and cartoons and everything, and it's just so cool. It's awesome. They also offer pretty good food as well. Ethan's was kind of okay, if I remember rightly, but this burger that I had was honestly one of the best burgers I ever had. I think it was like some sort of barbecue burger, and it was so nice. One of the items on my bucket list that was super, super important was actually to get this really special photo with the Tangled lanterns. It's such a cute photo op. They offer it every night, I believe, when the sun goes down from about, I think it was like 7:30, 8ish, but it does get quite a long queue. We were lucky enough to get there quite early, so I would recommend doing that if you're going for this photo. But we got there quite early and only had to wait about 20 minutes, and it's so worth it. It's so worth the photo, and it's such an amazing memory for me. The other photos I obviously had to take that is kind of part of the bucket list, but kind of not, is obviously castle photos. And I have many. I have some of the PhotoPass ones that the PhotoPass photographers ones took for the daytime, the nighttime, and also Ethan was an amazing Instagram fiance, and we just did a little photo shoot by the castle as well, so definitely got that one in the bag. Another item that I think should be on anyone's Walt Disney World bucket list is to see a parade. They offer a few, but I think the main one at Walt Disney World is the Festival of Fantasy Parade, which we actually got to see on our very first day in Magic Kingdom. We just happened to be coming in as it was starting, so we stood there and watched it for a bit, and let me tell you, it is absolutely incredible. It is so awesome, and the floats are next level. I was just stood there like, wow. It's so cool, so we definitely got to do that one. Next up on the bucket list, which again, I think a lot of people have this on their Walt Disney World bucket list, and so you should, is to ride all of the Walt Disney World mountains. That being Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. We got to do all of these, and I absolutely loved all of them. Space Mountain I was a little bit nervous on because my bag felt like it was slipping out but it's still very, very cool. Our absolute favourite though was definitely Big Thunder Mountain. We love this in both Walt Disney World and the Disneyland Paris park. So it was absolutely awesome and I loved this, filmed on it, and you get to see views of the castle and it's just so brilliant. But it is closely followed by Splash Mountain, which is also absolutely amazing. And that drop is intense. It's so good. And I got absolutely drenched all down my right side, but it's welcome in the Florida heat. I didn't mind. I'm also really glad and grateful that we got to do this before the Tiana retheming. I'm sure the retheming is going to be absolutely awesome, but I'm so glad we got to do it before it changed. One of the things I would also say should be on any Disney lover's bucket list is obviously to see the fireworks. See Harmonious or Enchantment, or when it goes back to Happily Ever After, see Happily Ever After. Because no one does fireworks like Disney does fireworks. We managed to see both Harmonious and Enchantment, and honestly, it's one of my absolute favourite memories of the trip. Just watching the Enchantment fireworks on one of our last nights on the trip with Ethan's arms around me as we watched, and honestly, I was just crying. It was an ugly mess, but it was such a beautiful memory that I will honestly treasure forever. And Disney provided that. And yeah, we got to see the fireworks. Harmonious is also absolutely incredible. Like the way they project everything on the water and the smoke is just next level. I would highly recommend seeing it if you have the time. The last few items on my list were actually mostly shopping related ones. So I had it on my list to buy the perfect Spirit jersey, which I bought this one with the 50th iridescent logo on it, and obviously it has the Walt Disney World across the back, and I absolutely love this. It was also to collect pressed pennies as we went around the parks. I love doing this anyway for any trip because I like to put them in our travel journal, but yeah, we got to do that as well. But the most important one was Disney pins for me. And we definitely got to do this. So we actually went out to Walt Disney World with pins already, ready for trading. But I also wanted to buy some like special pins while we were there. And pin trading is another one that I would highly recommend doing. It was so fun and provided so many unique cast member interactions, and I also met this lovely American girl who was wearing a lanyard like me, and we traded together, and that's like another core memory as well. It's so special to me, so I would recommend doing that if you're into pin trading and pins and everything. But yes, I did buy a fair few pins, so did Ethan. So we bought this Etsy corkboard when we got back to display them all, and I'm gonna need a new one when we go back. I'm gonna have a couple of these around the flat, I think, because it's so cute and I love it. My favorites are definitely the Harmonious pin just here, if you can see that, and the 50th Walt Disney World pin. I absolutely love this. So yes, definitely got to do all of the shopping whilst in Walt Disney World. I did have a few others on my bucket list. I really wanted to try and get a cookie from Gideon's Bakehouse, and we wanted to try and get a reservation for Sci-Fi Dine-In Theatre as well. I wasn't able to complete some of these things, but that's okay, because I'll just have to go back and put it on a future bucket list, if you know what I mean. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you won't ever be able to complete everything in Walt Disney World because it's absolutely massive and covers 4 parks and 2 water parks. So just kind of go in with that intention and maybe create a few of your must-dos like I did, and it kind of just creates a more wholesome trip as well, even though, like, you know, it's going to be incredible anyway. But it kind of sets you up that you won't be able to do everything. But it just means we have to go back. Overall, I don't know about you, but I'd say my Walt Disney World bucket list was a success. I completed most of them. There was only like, I think 3 or 4 things that I wasn't able to complete on the list, and I am super stoked about that. And obviously I had the most amazing time and I loved experiencing everything that Disney had to offer. And yeah, we just had the most amazing trip. And if you couldn't tell already, I'd absolutely love to go back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, saving for a trip in the future. So thank you for joining me on this journey. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to show support for my channel. It really, really helps. And let me know below, what would be on your Walt Disney World bucket list if you were going soon? Or if you are going soon, what is on your Walt Disney World bucket list? Thanks so much again for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!